The Butt Kicker Gamer 2. What you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again. Race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network tonight. The Wallbangers Racing Truck Series heads off into round 15 here in season number 1, Chicagoland Speedway. Ready to give these drivers their lesson. Chicago has been known to cause a few problems out there with the back end of these trucks getting a little bit light. So as we run tonight, we'll have to see who's got the right crew chief, the right setup inside of their truck, as a few drivers still out there putting down some qualifying laps right now. As to Noah's surprise, top of the speed charts once again, the fast as always 94 of Alexander Encarnacio, quick time 30:21 for that 94 Ford F-150. Chad Biesinger sitting right there in second. Chris Wilson back in third with just about 3 minutes or so remaining here in qualifying. And I tell you what, why don't we run down your championship standings coming in to tonight's race as the final few drivers make their laps out there in qualifying. Looks like the points shaping up just a little bit something like this. Alexander Encarnacio sitting with a 10-point advantage. Top of the point standings charts right there. Trevor Massetti just behind him. Craig Burns, Michael Sheffield, and Chad Biesinger round out your top 5. Quite a bit amazed at the points separation for Encarnacio. Only a 10-point advantage as Alexander has been to victory lane well and above the rest of the field here. I believe upwards of 6 wins on the season so far here, so winning over half of the races early in the season here in the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Tonight, we fire things off at Chicagoland Speedway, and I hate to see it, 125 live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. How you doing? How you feeling, race fans? Glad you could join us once again. As always, Darkside Dave in the Cave bringing you all the calls from the track side here tonight. Man, I tell you what, is going to be one heck of a night, I can guarantee you that. And with just about 2 minutes remaining in qualifying, doesn't look like we have anybody else out there that's going to be able to top the speed charts and take away that provisional pole position from Alexander Encarnacio. So, with that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Head down trackside for the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the boats bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Jets flying over, bells ringing in the background. Field has hit the starting grid. You know what time it is. It's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Hate to See It 125 here from the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Starting inside row number 1, pole position, the 94 of Alexander Encarnacio. Just to his outside, the 23 of Chad Biesinger, Chris Wilson, and Jeff Carson gonna make up row number 2. Row number 3 here tonight, the 36 of Brandon Regal, in the 2 of Craig Burns. Jerry Culver and Chris Claude make up row number 4. Row number 5 here tonight, Michael Sheffield in the 18 of Steve Kerpel. Row number 6 here tonight, the 98 of Brian Fine and the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. 13th position here tonight, Trevor Massetti, followed by Justin Hendry, slotted in the 15th starting position, the 5 of Ryan Ezell. Jerry Hutchinson in his 12 machine gonna start in the 16th spot, while David Hall and Jordan Westfall round out the field. Here tonight, 18 drivers to the starting grid for tonight's Hate to See It 125 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Pace car ready to duck on off. We're ready to go. Green flag racing for the first time here tonight. Field in the hands of your pole sitter, Encarnacio, and green flag flies for the first time here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway. There you can have it. Lap number 1 already underway. 3 stages in tonight's race. That's right, you heard it right. 3 stages in tonight's race. Drivers will bring it to a slow, bring it to a crawl on lap number 30 as well as lap number 60. Completion of both of those laps, we will see the drivers bring it back all together. We'll have a little bit of a reset and fire things back off once again, but right now, your pole sitter, Alexander Encarnacio, walking away with quite a bit of a lead, already 0.2 of a second in front of the Razorbacks sponsored 33 machine of Chris Wilson, Brandon Regal right there in that Dirty Mo sponsored 36 machine. Regal looking good so far here tonight. Chad Biesinger right there in 4th. 5th place is Jeff Carson. Battle on the speedway right there. Michael Sheffield, Jerry Culver. They're battling it out. Culver, check this out. You got to give a shout out to this. All the different types of colors from Turn 3 Racing Network, with a big shout out to Dark Side Dave right on the hood of that Chevy Silverado. So a big time tip of the cap there to Culver, getting that paint scheme kind of thrown together all like within a day or two. Heck of a job out there throwing something together just to say a thank you to me. So a big time shout out to you. We do appreciate that, that's for sure. And all you other drivers and all You do out there on the track as well. Still at the top of the speed charts, though, Alexander Encarnacio continues to lead. Chris Wilson sitting right there all over that rear deck lid. .33 of Wilson looks to the high side on Encarnacio. Regal to the bottom as well. B-Singer right there. Field jumbled and packed up as Greg Burns heads to the bottom of the speedway. He looks to take a spot away late in the going here tonight. Or early in the going, I should say here. Trying to set himself up with some track position for late in the going. And it looks like out of the 18 drivers slotted in for tonight's race, 16 drivers making the start. It looks like Jordan Westfall and David Hall pulling race control duties. They are scored out and off of the speedway. So it looks like they are indeed in race control. Claude, Culver, Baldwin all lined up. 9th, 10th, 11th on the speedway as drivers all over each other nose to tail very early in this initial green flag run. Lap number 6 underway as the field makes their way down the backstretch. Your top 5 all nose to tail. A lot of positions up for sale still. Brian Fine, he looks to try to take a spot a little bit further inside the top 10, sitting now in the 9th spot, right there on the cusp of trying to get by Jerry Culver. We're now on board with Chris Wilson as he tries to hound Brandon Regal into making a mistake. You can see that Dirty Mo Media 36 machine slotted in second, right behind your pole sitter, your points leader, Alexander Encarnacio. Drivers still nose to tail at the front of the field. Nobody really asserting their dominance yet. However, it is still very early in tonight. .125 lap race as we cross the line to begin lap number 9. Drivers with a very long way to go. Tire strategy, fuel strategy may come into play by the time we work our way to the end of tonight's race. Drivers very crucially watching those temperatures as we continue to run in these packs. You got to keep an eye on those oil and water temperatures. As you see the 33 dive way out of line. He's getting a lot of fresh air to the nose. That's going to cool that off, give him a run to the inside of a Regal. This time by Regal going to close the door off of 2. Still nose to tail. 3rd, 4th, 5th on the speedway. Wilson, Sheffield, B-Singer as they run. Jeff Carson just behind them. Craig Burns, Brian Fine, Jerry Culver as well as Chris Claude, all packed up right here running with each other. 7th, 8th, 9th on track as we go on board with the 13 of Culver looking down at dark side. Dave himself. Wait a minute. I'm in the booth. I'm not on the front of that truck. And that lets you see the power of the dark side. Yeah, I'm going full-blown nerd on you right here. Power of the dark side, able to be on the truck and in the booth all at one time. You like how we do that? Yes, indeed. Nonetheless, the drivers continue this green flag run very early here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway, and they hate to see it. 125. Drivers still battling for position all over the speedway, and as a matter of fact, battle for the top spot is done and over with. Brandon Regal with a big run up and around. Alexander Encarnacio now on board with that 94 as he looks to try to run back down Regal in that 36 just utilized the draft, utilized the run, and went right around and made it look pretty easy on your pole sitter, Alexander Encarnacion. You can see much different lines off of turn number 4. That 36 way outside next to that outside wall as Encarnacion keeps it a little bit closer to the bottom of the speedway. We continue green flag race. We continue green flag running here in tonight's race. Every lap so far, green flags from the start. Will we see a complete green flag run to the end of stage number 1 coming to a completion at the end of lap number 30? We'll have to wait and see as the field at the front starts to edge out the rest of the pack. Chris Wilson, last driver right there. You can see him in that 33 machine, that Razorbacks sponsor. 33 does have about 1 second over the 9 of Jeff Carson, and Carson has got a lot of drivers all over him. Carson sitting in the 6th spot has Brian Fine, Craig Burns, Stephen Baldwin Jr. all packed up with him. The 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. looking for some more spots, up 3 spots from where he started tonight's race, already running inside your top 10. Still nose and tail running for the majority of the pack. Your top 5 have stepped away. Top 6, I should say, have stepped away. Top 5, I believe. Yes, indeed. Jeff Carson sitting in 6th right here, leading this pack. Craig Burns, Brian Fine, Justin Hendry, Stephen Baldwin Jr., Jerry Culver, as well as Chris Claude, Trevor Massetti, Jerry Hutchinson, and Steve Coppell, all packed up right here with each other, as it looks like one driver having a little bit of connection issues, blinking just a little bit. We'll jump back here with that 98 Tide Ford F-150 piloted by Brian Fine as he makes his way around the backstretch and into turn number 3. Looking to the bottom of the raceway on Craig Burns, looking to take the 7th spot away and gonna pull side by side and have the advantage. Now looking for one more, looking to take that 6th spot away from Carson. He's gonna pull even now to the inside in turn 1, side by side yet again. Can he get another spot on the bottom of the speedway off of turn 2? Outside run gonna prevail, but here comes some help. Justin Hendry in the 28 drops to the bottom. He's looking for a spot on Burns. Still side by side drag race of a battle between the 9 and the 98. There's Craig Burns and Justin Hendry packed up just behind them. Stephen Baldwin Jr. right there as well. A little bit back to Trevor Massetti, Jerry Culver, and Jerry Hutchinson. We've got another 5-car pack right there, so it looks like we've got 3 distinct 5-car packs. And now finally that 98 of Brian Fine able to make that pass, able to make the position over the 9 of Jeff Carson, and Carson gonna fall back through the speed charts as Jerry Culver makes his way by. Here comes Burns to the bottom of the track. Justin Hendry under fire as Stephen Baldwin Jr. looking for more. Baldwin Jr. takes his 59 up and around that Toyota Tundra piloted by Jeff Carson. Just behind him, Carson falling through the field now, down 6 spots from where he started tonight's race, up in the 4th position. Carson rounding out your top 10. Still close battles back here between the 10 of Chris Claude and the 18 of Steve Coppell. Coppell running that brightly colored Charged Citrus NOS Energy drink paint scheme here tonight, sitting just back behind Jerry Hutchinson. These drivers running at the back of the pack, the tail end of the field. Hutchinson in the 13th spot, Coppell in 14th with Claude rounding out the top 15, and another 2 seconds back to that 5 of Ryan Ezell. There you can see him just back in the distance, back in the background, well off the pace and behind this field very early as we creep in on the end of stage number 1. That's right, 22 laps in the books already, and we will see stage number 1 come to a close at the end of lap number 30. So will these drivers be able to keep it clean and green through the end of stage number 1? We'll have to wait and see how it all unfolds back at the front, still leading the race. After taking control from Alexander Encarnacio, Brandon Regal has stepped away to a half a second race advantage over that 94 Michael Sheffield right there in his one machine, slotted in the third spot of 6 positions from where he started tonight's race. Biggest mover of the race right now so far, though, is the man sitting in the 7th spot. Started almost tail end of the field, Justin Hendry in the 28 Ford F-150, up 7 spots from where he started tonight, running just outside your top 5 in the 7th spot here tonight. Battle still all over the track. We'll jump back to this one that's still raging on between the two of Craig Burns, the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr., Trevor Massetti also involved in this battle. You can see a 3-car battle just in front of them as well. Chris Wilson caught up in that one. Biesinger, Wilson, Fine, Hendry, Burns, Baldwin, Massetti round out your top 10, while Brandon Regal, Alexander Encarnacio, and Sheffield run as your top 3 on the speedway, making their way back to the front stretch to begin lap number 26. Just 5 laps remaining here in stage number 1, and Brandon Regal looking to capitalize early in the night and put some bonus points in his back pocket. We'll go back up to this battle at the front of the field because Michael Sheffield, he has been closing some distance, as well as the 23 of Chad Biesinger. They're going to be right there breathing down the rear deck lid of Alexander Encarnacio here very shortly. I can guarantee you that. Encarnacio all over Regal coming to the close of stage number 1. And as we make our way to the end of this stage, why not, race fans? Why not run down to it? Why not mute the mics for just a brief moment and head down trackside for a little bit of what we like to call Turn It Up. One more lap, final lap in stage number 1. Brandon Regal all over Michael Sheffield after Alexander Encarnacio had a big-time moment. Encarnacio going to fall back to the 4th spot, but now the battle for that top spot has went away. Michael Sheffield has stepped away out of turn number 4 for the final time in stage number 1. Green-white checkered flag in the air for the one of Michael Sheffield, getting the job done very early here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Hate to see it. 125, there you can see caution flag flying for the first time here tonight. End of stage number 1. Points going in the back pocket of the one machine, Michael Sheffield, as he triumphed over the 36 of Brandon Regal. Chad Biesinger closing in into finish in the 3rd spot here at stage number 1. 4th goes to Alexander Encarnacio, Brian Fine, Chris Wilson, Justin Hendry, Craig Burns, Stephen Baldwin Jr., and Trevor Massetti round out your top 10 at the end of stage number 1. And with all that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Then we'll head back down trackside for all your green flag action live here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the Hate to See It 125. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And back track side as the green flag flies once again. Here to begin stage number 2, your stage 1 winner, Michael Sheffield, has control of the race and has blasted off on this latest restart battle for the second spot between Regal and Encarnacio. Encarnacio stuck on that inside lane, not able to carry it out to the outside wall, and Regal gonna make his way around for the second spot. Now the 98 looks to the high side, and high side hustling looks like the way to go here tonight. Now the 98 of Fine as well as Hendry Massetti, they all make their way by. Encarnacio dropping through the field. We have seen this 94 do this calculated move. Oh, and big time loose down there next to the apron is that 94 of Encarnacio, and now well off the pace and dropping outside of the top 10 in contact with the outside wall. Stephen Baldwin Jr. with a big moment. Field looking for a way around. They scatter through 3 and 4. Scattering all through 3 and 4, trying to make their way around the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. after he had contact with the outside wall heading into turn number 3. Off of turn 4, Field had to make some evasive maneuvers, and now side by side with Stephen Baldwin Jr. is Ryan Azell, the 5, looking for the front of this field. While back at the front of this field, battle for that top spot, the 36 of Brandon Regal looking for that top spot. Once again, we have seen Sheffield and Regal battle it out. Encarnacio was one of those drivers battling as well at the front. Now he is all the way at the back of this pack, running last car on track in the 16th position. We still have all 16 drivers that took to the starting grid out there on the track right now as Steve Claude makes a pass on Steve Kerpel. It's Chris Claude makes a pass on Steve Kerpel. Back there for the 14th position, Ezell able to make his way by Baldwin Jr. for the 11th spot, and battle still at the front of this speedway between Regal and Sheffield. That's going to bring Fine and Hendry into the mix. They're going to bring the 3 of Massetti right along with them. And this is the night that Massetti needs. Trevor Massetti needs quite a good night if he's going to try to gain some spots on your points leader, Alexander Encarnacio, who is not having a good stage number 2 right now. Well off the pace at the tail end of the field. Back in the 16th spot, the Dirty Mo Media 36 still all over Sheffield, hounding for that top spot. Back up front with your race leader once again. Sheffield drops to the bottom. Just to his outside, the 36 takes a peek, and hard into the outside wall goes Regal. Oh my goodness, hard contact with that outside wall. That's going to lose a ton of ground. The right side caved in on that right front for the 36 Dirty Mo Media. There you can see the damage on the front right side of that hood. Big time trouble for Regal. The driver's going to continue to try to make their way by the 23 of Chad Piesinger, looking to the inside now out of 3 and 4. Not going to be there just yet. He's got Brian Fine in tow with him. They look to pounce on the wounded warrior right there in front of them. The 36 of Brandon Regal struggling to stay up inside the top 5 while just off in front of them. Battle still hot and heavy for the top 2 spots. On the speedway, Michael Sheffield has Justin Hendry breathing all over his neck. Trevor Massetti now inside your top 3, running in the 3rd position. Very fast pace here tonight for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Hate to see it. 125 here from Chicagoland Speedway. Gonna do a brief weather report check in. There you can see it over on the right hand side of your screen. Track pretty cool here tonight. 70 degrees on the track, so a lot of grip out there tonight. That may be why we've seen Alexander Encarnacio a little bit loose down there on the inside. I can assure you these crew chiefs may be swinging these trucks to the looser side to try to compensate for all the grip that is out there in the track and maybe going just a little bit too far was the crew chief on that 94. But meanwhile, here at the front of the field, these two drivers have got their trucks dialed in. The Chevy Silverado, piloted by Michael Sheffield, continues to lead the hard-charging Ford F-150 of Justin Hendry. That UPS 28 machine looking for the top spot, but not able to make his way by your race leader just yet as we make our way down the backstretch here on lap number 46. It has been a very fast pace here tonight. Only one caution, and that has been our stage-ending caution back at lap number 30 just 16 laps ago. And these drivers inching their way towards the end of stage number 2. Going to come to a completion at the end of lap number 60. So right around 14, 13 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Can Sheffield walk away with a double down on the stage wins? We'll have to wait and see if he can get that job done, because he has got some very fast, hungry company right there knocking on the door as Chad Biesinger has made his way by Massetti and now to the back end of the 28 of Justin Hendry. Gonna jump back a little bit further through the field outside of your top 10. We do have a battle back here on the speedway. Chris Claude looking to come up and try to gain a spot from the 5 of Ryan Ezell. Ezell falling through the field just a little bit. Jerry Culver in the 13 machine just out in front of Ezell. There you can see the 13 of Culver making his way down the backstretch. 13 trying to gain some ground, try to get it back up there to a driver that was knocking on the door of a podium, actually running in some podium spots earlier in the race. Chris Wilson and his 33 machine. There you can see that chromed out Razorbacks sponsored Ford F-150 sitting in the 10th position, down 7 spots from where he started tonight's race, looking to try to gain a little bit more ground here in the closing laps of stage number 2. Checking back in with the battle at the front of the field, Michael Sheffield has separated himself slightly as Justin Hendry really battling now with Chad Biesinger. Brian Fine in the top 98 machine has made an appearance inside the top 5 now, looking for more, looking for that third and final podium spot all over the rear deck lid of the 23 of Biesinger as Biesinger lined up with the 28 of Hendry. To the inside goes Biesinger. Will he have enough room to slide up out of turn number 2? Able to do so. He's going to get that spot. That's going to open the door for Brian Fine. He's going to look to the inside on turn number 3. Not going to be there. Not going to have enough through the center to try to challenge on the corner exit of 4. He'll still stay in that 4th spot, but now Biesinger sets his sights on your race leader, Michael Sheffield. Going to give you a little bit of your battle box info as they run on the track here tonight. Lap number 52 underway out of the 125 scheduled in tonight's official race distance, and we'll throw some of that battle information up on the screen for you. There you can see it right there. Sheffield leading the field. He has Biesinger and Hendry tucked in right behind him. Brian Fine now looking to the inside of Hendry. Very, very close racing at the front of this field. Drivers laying it all out on the line here tonight, doing a heck of a job. Have been clean and green all night long. Here the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series drivers continue this green flag run. Everybody down to pit road back on lap number 32 at the completion of stage number 1. And with just 7 laps remaining here in stage number 2, your top 2 have now separated themselves from the rest of the field. Brian Fine, Justin Hendry, and Trevor Massetti left to battle for the 3rd position on track. So with that, we'll jump back to that battle, see how it all unfolds as Brian Fine finally able to make his way by Justin Hendry, and Massetti looks to grab that 4th spot away. Some more battles just outside of your top 5. Here you can see the 2 of Craig Burns trying to make his way by Jeff Carson. That's a battle for the 6th and 7th spot on track. Brandon Regal, early race leader, early contender after hard impact with the outside wall. He has fell through the field outside of your top 5, now running behind Burns in the 8th position. That 36 of Brandon Regal looking for that stage caution so he can get down to pit road and fix that Dirty Mo Media 36 Chevy Silverado. Another battle on track. Here you can see the 10 of Chris Claude. He's beginning to close in on the 13 of Jerry Culver. Culver not quite able to make up the ground on Wilson just yet. As these drivers continue this green flag run, you gotta wonder how the handling is working out for multiple drivers out there, because I'm looking back through the timing and scoring, and well off of this pace here tonight, Alexander Encarnacio, not something we're used to seeing typically out of that 90 Ford F-150 Encarnacio Racing Stable driver. Alexander just absolutely struggling all the way around this track here in stage number 2. Well off of the pace. Look at him, man, all alone. Very lonely place out there tonight on this lit up racetrack here. Saturday night shootout for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. This is race number 15 out of the 25 scheduled in the season this year for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series, and your points leader has not had a very good night here tonight, and I hate to see it, 125. We'll jump back to the front of the field as Michael Sheffield begins to gap the 23 of Chad Biesinger. He has about a 2.5 to 3 truck advantage over Biesinger, as Brian Fine closing the distance on Biesinger. We may have a battle for the 2nd spot before this stage is over. Final 2 laps in stage number 2. These Wallbanger Racing Truck Series drivers putting on an absolute show here tonight, and if you haven't already, race fans, toss these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We do appreciate each and every one of you stopping by, even if you're just sliding on through. If you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. Without you, there would be none of us. And well, lap number 60 now underway. Stage number 2 getting ready to come to a close. This man right here, Sheffield Graphics sponsored Michael Sheffield, and the one machine coming off of 4 for the final time in stage 2. Green, white, checkered in the air. Stage number 2 now in the back pocket of Sheffield as well. So put that down. That's already 2 stage wins on the night, as the caution flag finally being displayed, bringing stage number 2 to a close, calling the field back to a crawl. What a dominating performance so far here tonight for Michael Sheffield. Man, oh man, late in the going there in stage 1, he grabbed that top spot. He pretty much dominated stage number 2 right there, leading the entire, or basically the entire time. I think he may have gave up the lead for a lap or 2 at some point in time, but still, one heck of a run out there tonight by Michael Sheffield. Field will come to a crawl and catch up to the back of that pace truck. Look for all of these drivers to make their way down pit road to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and some fuel. With all that being said, race fans, we're going to step away for just a brief moment for a few commercial breaks. We'll head back trackside for all your green flag action live here from Chicagoland Speedway.
Get ready. This is going to be tight. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. The All-American 400 is underway.
Got to be careful. The bumps here can get you every time. Entering the corner, exiting the corner.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
In back trackside as the Chevy Silverado Pace truck lights have gone out, field begins to get double file for the restart of our final stage. That's right, race fans, over half of the race already in the books. We get ready to try to set this up for another clean and green run to the end. Michael Sheffield will have control over the restart. He'll have Chad Biesinger just to his outside. Brian Fine, Justin Hendry in row number 2. Massetti and Carson make up row number 3. Burns and Hutchinson, Wilson and Culver round out your top 10 and 0. Looks like Brian Fine having a little bit of connection issues there. You can see a little bit of Magic Man. Now you see him, now you don't. Out of that Tide machine, that's how clean Tide can get your clothes. They can make stains disappear. Field to the restart box. Green flag flies as the one of Sheffield nails the loud pedal and just steps away from this field. There you can see the 98 still having some of those connection issues down there on the inside of the track. Brian Fine has that second position. Biesinger, Hendry, Massetti still inside the top 5, still battling for some positions back through the track. Jerry Culver right there in the 13 machine. He's got the 33 tucked in just behind him. Oh, right across the nose of Culver. The 33 of Wilson almost up the track, and still with those troubles is Brian Fine, still having a little bit of blinking, still having those connection issues. That's going to put drivers 2-3 wide at the front of the field. We'll jump back up here as Biesinger goes to the bottom. Here comes Hendry and Massetti. Oh, and Ryan Ezell with some trouble. Ezell down off the track. Yellow flag flies. We'll check back here, see what happened with our turn 3 replay. Oh, there you see it, the 59 of Stephen Baldwin Jr. with some trouble into the 10, it looked like. We'll check it out. No, the 10 just trying to avoid, and around the 5 goes. It doesn't look like the damage is too bad. A little bit of contact with that left rear quarter, and the 5 of Ezell goes around. That will put us under caution for, well, the third time of the evening, but the first time for an incident on track. Field will come to a crawl yet again. Michael Sheffield, your race leader, still at the front, will rejoin the field at the front. Back under caution, back behind that Chevy Silverado iRacing pace truck being piloted by Turn 3's very own Muth in the booth out there tonight, getting some pace laps, and, well, he's been wanting some time, some driving time, some seat time, and, well, what better way to have it, what safer way to give it to him than right there inside that iRacing Chevy Silverado pace truck. Oh my goodness. Just a big time shout out to good buddy over here at Turn 3 Racing Network. Muth in the booth doing a lot of things behind the scenes, doing a lot of great things here at Turn 3 Racing Network, and do want to say, just from myself, we do appreciate all the hard work behind the scenes, as well as the boss man getting some things done in the background as well. So hats off to you as well, and everybody else back at the Turn 3 Racing headquarters. And yeah, just figured why not put you inside of that pace truck. I mean, you know, Roger is a fine dirt track driver from Turn 3 Racing Network, leading the points in his divisions in those big block modifieds right now. So Muth in the booth, hard on the gas too, ripping the lip, whether it's catfishing or up there pushing the cushion. Muth in the booth getting the job done on the dirt track side of things for the Turn 3 Racing Network. But back to the task at hand. The Wallbangers Racing Truck Series, hate to see it, 125 under caution for the first on-track incident. And that's going to bring 3 drivers to pit road. Brian Fine, Jerry Hutchinson, as well as Brandon Regal. Alexander Encarnacio going to be a 4th truck driver to come down to pit road. Looks like Encarnacio may have missed the setup here tonight in trying to correct what he can down there with some changes on pit road. Field back to a crawl, 65 miles an hour behind this Chevy Silverado pace truck. Lights should go out this time by, and we should receive the 1 to go here in the hate to see it 125. And that's right, I hate to see it. Hate to see those caution flags. Hate to see that pretty Chevy Silverado pace truck out there on the track. Want to see some more of this green flag racing action. And indeed, the caution lights have gone out. Field gets double file once again. The lineup for this latest restart here tonight. Michael Sheffield will have control once again on that inside lane. Chad Biesinger lined up just to his outside. Justin Hendry and Trevor Massetti make up row number 2. Row number 3, Jeff Carson and Craig Burns. Chris Wilson and Jerry Culver back in row number 4. Stephen Baldwin Jr. and Chris Claude round out your top 10 for this latest restart. Brian Fine and Ryan Azell back there in 11th and 12th. Jerry Hutchinson, Alexander Encarnacio back in 14th. Brandon Regal will round out the field at the back, as we have had one retirement here tonight. Steve Kerpel in the 18. NOS Energy Toyota Tundra is scored, the first and only truck out of tonight's race, as the field makes their way back to the restart box on the gas pedal, and green flag flies as Sheffield scoots away once again. Hendry with a fine restart. He's able to make his way up and challenge for that second spot. Gonna now take that away from Chad Biesinger as Biesinger slides to the bottom of the raceway. The 23 now back in third. Massetti all over the gearbox right there, trying to make her way around off of turn number 2. Massetti in fourth. Carson back in fifth. Drivers dropping to the bottom of the speedway, trying to make up some ground. There you see that 10 of Chris Claude. He gained a position or two here on the restart. Looks to make it a little bit further up through the field, but big time scrap at the front. Chad Biesinger looks to the bottom on Hendry once again. Side by side through the center of 1 and 2. Massetti following through. Can he make the pass with Biesinger as Biesinger finally makes his way up and around Hendry? Now battle for that third spot. Massetti gonna take it with that inside preferred line, and here comes the 9 back inside the top 5. That Toyota Tundra piloted by Jeff Carson now makes his way back inside the top 5. Craig Burns right there as Jerry Culver knocks on the door of a top 5 for the first time here tonight. Field makes their way off of turn number 4 to begin lap number 75 out of the 125 scheduled in tonight's official race distance. And I hate to see it, 125 for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And oh my, what a run by Massetti all over the rear end of that 23 of Biesinger. As these drivers continue this long stretch, we have got just under 50 laps remaining here tonight. Field still hot and heavy, battling for positions all over the speedway. Here goes Biesinger to the top of the track. Massetti going to go with him. That's going to open the door for Carson on the inside of the 28 of Hendry. Hendry forced up the track now. Drag race down the back stretch between himself and the 9 of Carson. Your top 3 beginning to gap just a little bit as these truck drivers get side by side back behind Trevor Massetti, and now lined up Jerry Culver, Chris Wilson, Chris Claude. They begin to make a re-emergence at the front of this field, so your top 10 all lined up right there within 1 second of each other. Top 9, I should say, as Alexander Encarnacio, man, he has fired out of a cannon on this latest restart. Started back in the 15th spot on this latest restart, now up to the 10th position, so that 94 headed back in the right direction right when the time is needed. But these top 3 have begun to gap the field, and all over Sheffield as Biesinger continues to pressure your race leader. Little brief look inside, back at the driver inside of that 23 truck, Chad Biesinger, as he continues to try to chase down your race leader, Trevor Massetti, right there with him as well. The 9 of Jeff Carson, Justin Hendry, round out your top 5. And good to see our good buddy Rogers safe and sound outside of the Chevy Silverado Pace truck, checking in over there on the YouTube chat side of things. Hopefully he doesn't mind pulling the double duty, going from the broadcast booth to the iRacing Pace car for us here tonight, the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Hate to see it. 125. Michael Sheffield, he has been the class of the field here tonight. He is knocking on the door of putting the most laps led into his back pocket as he continues to lead Chad Biesinger, and Biesinger just can't seem to find a way around right now as Trevor Massetti starts to battle with Jeff Carson. Justin Hendry right there in that 28 UPS freight machine, looking to the bottom of the speedway, heading into turn number 1. Not going to get there, not going to have the time to get the job done and the pass done. So we're going to jump a little further back through this little single file run. The 33 of Chris Wilson slotted in just behind Jerry Culver. Next driver back on him will be Alexander Encarnacio who has picked up yet another spot. Encarnacio now running in the 9th position after sitting on the pole here tonight. Encarnacio fell all the way back to last spot on the speedway, but yet able to make some changes down there on pit road, put the stage in as well as that early caution here to begin our final stage. Now Encarnacio makes his run back to the front. And I would have to agree with you as well, Miss Culver. It has been one heck of a race. 83 laps in and only one on-track incident. And it was a very minimal incident for all of the drivers involved. All of them able to get their machines fixed. All of them able to stay out there on the track. And everybody's still pretty much packed up. We don't have a very, very huge gap between a lot of the drivers. You have to go all the way back to the driver running in the 12th spot, Ryan Azell. He is about 3.5 seconds back from Chris Claude. Brandon Regal just behind him. Stephen Baldwin Jr. and Jerry Hutchinson, they battle it out. Those 3-4 drivers back here, they're all battling for position on the raceway as well. So you got to go way back in the field and find some wounded machines that have yet to use their fast repair. And oh, looks like some smoke up in front of Ryan Azell, but no caution coming out on the speedway, so maybe a connection issue with that. We'll jump back to the front though with the race leader Michael Sheffield, as he is still dealing with that 23 of Chad Biesinger. Biesinger not going away, but they have stepped away just slightly from Massetti, as Massetti falling into the clutches of Justin Hendry. Hendry now to the bottom on the inside of the 3 through turns 3 and 4, looking for the position on the front stretch. Put Hendry into the 3rd spot now, looking for a crossover. Massetti not going to venture to the apron. He'll go back to the high side, and Culver looking to the inside. Or I apologize, Culver getting looked to the inside by, oh, that was close, between Culver and Fine, making their way off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Culver gonna lose 2 spots on this lap. Culver gonna drop back from 7th to the 9th position. Alexander Encarnacio, what a run here in this 3rd and final stage. Encarnacio up, knocking on the door of the top 5 yet again, very close to that outside wall on entry, pitching the car loose almost to get it to turn. Encarnacio, man on fire right now. And a man under fire, driver on screen, that 13 of Jerry Culver, sitting right there in the 9th spot. He's got Chris Claude all over him. Ryan Wilson will be right here as well in the next coming lap or two. And keeping our eye on the timing and scoring. And last time these drivers were on the pit road back on lap number 62. So upwards of 20 laps already on these fuel and tires. So if we see a caution, you can guarantee these Wallbanger Racing Truck Series drivers will bring their machines down to pit road. But looking at the rest of the race, when will these drivers hit pit road? In the next 10 laps, they will reach that fuel window where they'll be able to come to pit road for the final time and have enough fuel to make it to the end. But who's willing to risk it for the biscuit with the undercut, as still making some ground? Alexander Encarnacio, he splits Craig Burns, he splits Brian Fine. Up to the 6th spot now is Encarnacio, with just Carson, Massetti, Hendry, and Biesinger left before he can get back to the tail end of your race leader, Michael Sheffield. And speaking of your race leader, we'll go back to this battle at the front that has not went away. Chad Biesinger right there breathing down the neck of your race leader, Michael Sheffield. Craig Burns looks like he's going to be the first driver to bring his machine to pit road for full service in fuel. That 2 machine down on the pit road now into his pit box. Going to keep an eye on everything down there, make sure that pit stop goes smooth. That very well may be the measuring stick for the rest of the field here tonight 14.93 seconds. They drop the jack, and he gets rolling. Burns back out on to the track. With that green flag pit stop, that is going to put Burns down one lap, but he will be able to get that lap back should this field complete the green flag cycle, and that is what Craig is banking on. Field has been pretty clean and green all race along. We had that one brief on-track incident here tonight, bringing out our third caution of the evening, the first two for the stage engine, so only one on-track incident caution here tonight. So it looks like the field will continue along green flag runs, and man, I can't stress this enough. Look at this. That 94 of Alexander Encarnacio had the pole position here tonight. Your points leader coming into tonight's race took the pole position in qualifying. Now 3 wide at the bottom of the raceway. Almost contact with Carson. Oh my goodness. Big run to the bottom of the speedway for that 94 of Encarnacio. Big time trouble at the start of stage number 2, and now Encarnacio went to the tail end of the field. Stayed back there for quite some time. And after our latest caution, that 94 seems to have righted the ship and corrected the mistakes, and he is now back running in the top 5, running in that 5th and final top 5 position, hunting the 9 of Jeff Carson for the 4th spot. Your top 3 have stepped away to just about a 3-second advantage over this pack battle for the 4th, 5th, and 6th spot on the raceway. As the drivers continue to click these laps off now, they are inching closer to over the 30-lap mark on these fuel and tires. How long will they stay out, knowing that Craig Burns is out there just hammered down right now, over a second faster than your race leader, Michael Sheffield. Last time by 31.81 for Sheffield. Last time by for Burns, 30.84. So right at the 1 second faster, and Jerry Culver seeing the times, and they have called that 12 to pit road. Michael Sheffield and Chad Piesinger both to pit road that time by. Brian Fine with some connection issues still, as Justin Hendry and Alexander Encarnacio stay on the raceway. Hendry enjoys a 3.3 second advantage over Encarnacio, who's now running in the 2nd spot. Brian Fine back in 3rd, and Jeff Carson in 5th. Rounding out the top 5, the 33 of Chris Wilson, 2.5 seconds back from Carson. So that's where the battle is. That's where it lies, right here with these 3 truck series drivers. Hendry continues to lead by 3.5 seconds as Carson brings his 9 Toyota Tundra down to pit road that time by. So not very many drivers yet left to hit pit road. Michael Sheffield has been down, as well as Craig Burns, Chad Piesinger, Trevor Massetti, Chris Claude, Jerry Culver, and Jerry Hutchinson, all down to pit road for what very well may be the final time of the evening. Jeff Carson, Ryan Azell, Stephen Baldwin Jr., they all make their way off of pit road. And we are quite amazed. Look at this. Look at this. This 2 machine being scored. The first car off of the lead lap, sitting in the 6th position. But more importantly, look at the gap right there on screen. He has got 2.9 seconds between himself and Michael Sheffield. Sheffield was your race leader, but Burns to pit road 6 laps sooner than the rest of the field, and the undercut very well may work out. With just about 26, 27 laps remaining, Chris Wilson finally hits pit road. The 33 going to give up his track position. Brandon Regal right there running in the 4th spot, last driver on the lead lap. He is yet to hit pit road for his final time of the evening. When will your top 3 drivers, your top 4 drivers, I should say, make their way to pit road? Burns leading the drivers, leading the charge of those fresh tires, and Alexander Encarnacio brings his 94 Ford F-150 to pit road that time by. Brandon Regal also brings his Silverado down pit road. That's going to leave Justin Hendry and Brian Fine out there on the speedway leading this race. Still there you can see your race leader, the 28 UPS Freight Machine, making his way off of turn 4. He'll stay out on the track. Brian Fine making his way now through 3 and 4. We'll keep an eye on pit road, see if Fine brings it down. No, he doesn't. He's going to stay out on the raceway for yet another lap. And looking at that timing and scoring, slowly closing that distance now. Craig Burns only enjoys right under a 2-second race advantage. That was upwards of 2.5 seconds over Michael Sheffield just 2 laps ago. So Burns losing a little bit of ground, but your race leader now coming to pit road, Brian Fine. What will the 98 do? He'll come to pit road as well. So the field will cycle on around, will cycle through this green flag pit stop. And I do believe the race lead will be inherited by this man right here. Craig Burns in the 2 Ford F-150, leading Michael Sheffield and Chad Biesinger back there running in the 23 machine, running in the 5th spot right now. But look for these drivers to jump from 3rd, 4th, 5th to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd as they make their way through the triover. Hendry just now down and off of pit road. They're going to lose those spots for sure as Burns takes over the lead of the race. Michael Sheffield, Chad Biesinger, they have gapped the rest of the field. They have a 3.5 second race advantage over the field right now. So the battle right there between these top 3 drivers, and Burns has got to like what he sees in his rear view mirror, and that's Sheffield and Biesinger battling for the 2nd spot, but they have closed the distance. They are there. That 2.5 second gap has went away. The advantage no longer there for Burns, and now the advantage of those fresh tires very well may show their ugly head here in the late going of tonight's Hate to See It 125 as Chad Biesinger makes the pass on Sheffield. That could be the race-winning maneuver. No, the 23 gets loose through 3 and 4. Biesinger sideways coming through 3 and 4. That's going to give Sheffield just enough ground to make up some time. He looks, excuse me. He looks to the inside of Biesinger, but Biesinger holding strong keeps that 2nd spot away as they continue to reel in your race leader, the 2 of Craig Burns. We are going to take a brief moment here, run through a little bit of your driver highlights as they run on the track here tonight. And I Hate to See It 125 and 3-way battle for the race lead. Biesinger to the top spot. Sheffield digs on the bottom. He'll take the 2nd spot away from Burns as the 2 falls from grace, falls from the race lead. Now back to the 3rd and final podium spot. With that being said, as we said, we'll go through a little bit of the driver highlights here. Run down your top 5 as they are on the track. There you can see the 47-year-old out of Clio, Michigan. Chad Biesinger leading this field here tonight in his Toyota Tundra. Dominating performance from this man, Emporia, Virginia's very own Michael Sheffield has led the majority of tonight's race. One stage number 1, one stage number 2. Can he somehow pull off the trifecta and find a way back by Chad Biesinger to win this final stage of the race? After a good call on the pit strategy, just not working quite out to the way the crew chiefs may have thought, Ortonville's very own Craig Burns now sitting in the 3rd and final podium spot. Driver with a good solid run back in the 4th position, 17-year-old California kid Trevor Massetti getting the job done. He's got the 9 of Jeff Carson peeking to the inside, and Carson rounds out your top 5 here tonight as they work their way around the track. Just 18 laps remaining before we will see who parks it in victory lane here tonight. Battle back through the field as well. Look at this, Jerry Culver, Ryan Izell They battle for a spot just outside the top 10, running in the 11th and 12th position right now on track. And Brian Fine, last driver inside the top 10, about 4.5 seconds in front of this Chevy battle between Culver, Ezell, and Hutchinson. Trying to bounce and jump all around the track because we've got battles all around this track. Massetti in danger of losing that 4th spot to Carson. Justin Hendry right there. Alexander Encarnacio still trying to recover from some struggles in stage number 2. He is now running in the 7th spot. That 94 very fast in moving towards the front now to the inside. The 9 of Carson looks for that 4th spot on Massetti. He's going to go ahead and open the door for Hendry to follow through as well. Big time close moment there for Massetti, almost into the side of Jeff Carson. He's going to drive to the top of the track, and that's going to give Hendry more than enough momentum, more than enough of an advantage to utilize that inside lane. Oh my goodness! Hendry sideways through 3 and 4. Encarnacio with a big move. Cutting the bottom of the speedway right next to the grass. Encarnacio looking to gain all he can. Tough running, tight into turn number 1. Encarnacio hugging that wide line. He's able to make a spot on Massetti as Massetti falls through the field. On board now with the driver inside of that. Encarnacio racing 94 Ford F-150. Alexander makes his way just outside of the top 5, knocking on the door here, running in the 6th spot. There you can see 5th and 4th position just in front of him. Carson and Hendry continue to battle for that 4th and 5th spot, while your top 2 drivers continue to battle for the race lead. Who is going to show the dominant hand here late in the going? Just 14 laps remaining. Can that 23 of B. Singer get the job done? 13 laps remaining as we cross the line this time in the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. Hate to see it. 125. Still trying to snatch that race lead back away. Michael Sheffield looking to the top side, looking to the bottom, looking for a slide job if he can. But B. Singer being very cautious, running right where he needs to run. Can he keep the hard-charging Sheffield behind him here? Coming to the line, 11 laps now to go in the I hate to see it 125 and leading when it's most important. B. Singer getting the job done in that Toyota Tundra. Very close here at the front of the field. Big gap back to Craig Burns, 3.5 seconds back to the 3rd place runner. He's got Justin Hendry and Alexander Encarnacio right there in tow. Jeff Carson, Trevor Massetti. Brian Fine now making his appearance on the scene, trying to take that 7th spot away from Massetti. As Fine and Massetti begin to fight, we'll take a look back at that battle just outside of your top 3 positions. Craig Burns, just a little bit of advantage right now for the moment over Alexander Encarnacio for that 4th spot. But what a recovery. I mean, that 94 was all but written off in stage number 2. Excuse me, my goodness. And somehow has found the right changes, has found the right line, and has found a way inside of your top 5. Now running in the 4th position, trying to hunt down Justin Hendry, running in the 3rd and final podium position, just off in front of him. There you can see that 28 UPS Freight. of Hendry trying to make his way around the track, trying to keep himself up inside a podium spot here tonight. 3.5 seconds behind this battle for the race lead. Still raging on. It has been raging on ever since that very quick caution as we began our third and final stage here tonight. Biesinger firing off, taking that race lead and not looking back. And here comes Sheffield looking to the outside. Right there on that right rear quarter. Not going to be there by the entry of one. He's going to have to fall back just a little bit, maybe a little bit of a run and a crossover maneuver here down the backstretch. There you can see Sheffield peeking the left side of the truck out. Not going to be there, not going to make the move just yet. Brian Fine was able to get by Craig Burns for 5th position on the track that last time by as we go inside once again with Chad Biesinger. Look at the focus and determination on the driver's face inside of that 23 Toyota Tundra. They make their way back off of turn number 2 down this back stretch. Curved back stretch. You're almost turning the entire time here at Chicagoland Speedway in the hate to see it 125. And now once again, Sheffield looks to the bottom. High five for your race leader, Chad Biesinger, as now the battle is really on. Sheffield digs to the bottom looking for it, and contact between Sheffield and Biesinger. They save it. Holy, how did those two truck drivers save that one? Contact between them. Sheffield not losing as much momentum as your race leader, Chad Biesinger, and that is going to bring Justin Hendry right in the mix with just 4 to go. That's also going to bring Alexander Encarnacio closer into the battle, closer into the picture. Now just 1.5 seconds back from this 3-truck battle for the race lead down the backstretch. Lap number 4. Here comes Hendry, hard charging 28 to the inside of Biesinger. They'll be side by side through the center of 3 and 4. Put Hendry to second. After the contact between Michael Sheffield and Chad Biesinger, Justin Hendry has a chance to capitalize on the opportunity in front of him. Can he put that 28 UPS freight machine to victory lane? Hounding that one is Sheffield now down the backstretch. Look at it. He is closing the distance as Biesinger is falling off. Off of turn number 4 to the outside comes Hendry. Drag race to the line. Advantage goes to Sheffield. Popsicle sticks on display for your race leader. Will we see some more late race contact? As now look, Alexander Encarnacio right there running in the 5th position, hounding Brian Fine for a spot late in the going field. Back into turn number 3. Hendry looks to the outside once again. Big run on the outside of the speedway. Drag race to the line. White flag in the air. Final lap. Battle for the race lead. Can Sheffield hold off Hendry for the final time? Just 4 corners remain side by side. Battle off of 2 for the race lead. Hendry with the advantage. The run on the outside. Run on the outside looking like it's gonna work. He's gonna have the spot. Jump down to the bottom right in front of Sheffield through the center of 3 and 4. Hendry takes the lead on the last lap in turn 3. Big move by Sheffield to try to take the undercut to the bottom of the track. They spin across the line with Hendry crossing the line first. Oh, hard contact for Biesinger after the checkered flag flies in the 3rd position. Multiple drivers caught up in that post-race crash, but Justin Hendry, what a run to the end. We're going to take a look back here at this finish, race fans. That was absolutely one for the ages. Big run off of 4. Looking to the bottom block comes by Hendry. He gets in to the nose of the 1, and there you see Biesinger hard contact with Hendry after the fact. Your podium positions are all settled out by the time that crash occurred, but what a run there for that 28 of Justin Hendry, smoking, beaten, battered, but still on the way to victory lane. Heck of a job, heck of a run there by that 28 Ford F-150 UPS freight machine. And with that being said, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back trackside after a small commercial break before tonight's post-race interviews get kicked off. Man, what a race we had here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway in the hate to see it 125 here in race number 15 out of the 25 race length season here for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. And let's see if we can't catch in a quick word or two with the driver that walked away in the third and final podium spot here tonight. Driver inside of that 23 machine, Chad Biesinger. It's David in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Hey, my man. Great run for you in the 23 Toyota Tundra crew out there tonight. Walk us through some of those final laps where you had the race lead, but it kind of just slipped away there towards the end of tonight's race.
Man, I was driving with the mirror for sure. Because I mean, he was on me the whole time. Then once he got under me a little bit, coming down the front stretch, I just figured I had to just keep it pinned around 1 and 2, and we got together. Somehow we both saved it. So either way, man, it was a blast.
Yeah, I was also gonna. I wasn't gonna pull the contact out just first. I was gonna let you go ahead and mention that, and since you have, how surprised were you that not just yourself, but also Sheffield, you two were actually able to somehow correct him without going around? You guys were almost dead sideways on the track.
Yeah. A little bit of luck. I guess maybe some skill. I don't know.
Well, I want to get your thoughts as we move forward. Next week we head to Milwaukee. Much different of racing going to go on there. How do you balance going from a track like this where it's all about momentum and keeping those RPMs up to a track like Milwaukee where it's going to be more of braking in a rhythm style track? How do you prepare for a track like that?
Personally, a lot of practice. I'll put in a ton of laps probably, and just get comfortable with it. And that's about all I can do.
All right, Chad. Well, again, my man, congratulations on a great run here tonight. Great racing all over the racetrack for you, making your way up inside the top 5 for the majority of the night here, and then battling with the race lead and walking away with a third and final podium spot here tonight. So congratulations once again on that. And before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 23 truck?
Oh, I thank the guys for the league. It's a blast, and thank you guys for the broadcast. It's really good.
Well, we do appreciate those kind words, Chad, and we look forward to catching up with you throughout the week. And maybe we can't catch in another post-race interview at the end of things next Saturday night at the end of the Milwaukee Mile.
All right, sounds good.
And there you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in third here tonight from Chicagoland Speedway, and they hate to see it. 125 for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. That was the 23 of Chad Biesinger. That's going to bring us to the man that led quite a bit here tonight. Led the most laps here. Walked away with the Stage 1 win, Stage 2 win. Just short with the race win. Michael Sheffield, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Dave. You got me.
Yeah, I got you. Absolutely, man. Coming to the end of the race, we talked to Chad about it there. You and him had a little bit of contact. Pretty scary moment inside the truck, though, being that sideways, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's me and Chad run a lot together, and I'm gonna run in clean as I can. We both lifted. It just they got together. Fortunately, we were able to straighten them back out and get going. It was a good night. So Chad's always fun to run with. We run each other clean, and I knew he was gonna be there. He was behind me most of the race. You know how that goes.
Absolutely. Well, I want to walk through a little bit more of the racing points here tonight. You led pretty much the most laps here tonight. I do believe that one is going to be handed to you as well. But you walked away with 2 stage wins. Getting down to the nitty-gritty time of the season, the chase not very far off in the distance. Is that a goal for you and the one crew to just try to get as many bonus points and playoff points as you can? Maybe not necessarily go after those race wins, but those points that are going to be needed when we switch over into the playoffs.
That's definitely a priority, is to try to do the best I can towards the playoffs and then finish well in the playoffs. I'm trying to get top 5 every week if I can. I'm gonna go for the win if I can tonight. I made a couple mistakes and I paid for it, and it's with the draft. It's all about the racing line, and if you get off of it just a little bit, you could be in trouble. So.
Oh, absolutely, man. And absolutely fine job out there tonight. As I said, very dominating one machine out there on the track. That Sheffield Designs Chevy Silverado was the class of the field for the most of the night here tonight, just barely missing out at the end of it. So, again, congratulations on a fine run all night long, walking away in a second position here tonight. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that one truck?
Yeah, first I want to thank you for broadcasting it, Dave. You do an outstanding job week after week. I want to thank all the Evolution Racing team, the rest of the Wallbangers admin, all the Wallbangers admin and the drivers in here. Without the other drivers, this wouldn't exist. So I appreciate it.
Well, Michael, we do appreciate the kind words as well, and we look forward to catching up with you in the next few weeks. And as the season continues on and we roll into the chase and try to sort out who's going to walk away with the championship here this season. So, again, my man, congratulations and hats off with a great night for you and the entire one crew.
Thank you.
There you have it, final words from the driver walking away from the track in the second spot. He walked away with 2 stage wins, but not able to capture the flag at the end of tonight's race. Coming up just short, the one of Michael Sheffield. And that's going to lead us into the biggest interview of them all, the man of the minute, the man of the hour, walking away with the race win. Driver inside of that 28 Ford F-150, Justin Hendry. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
10-4, Dave. I got you.
Hey, my man, getting the job done late in the going. Did you think the race lead was going to fall in your lap that way?
Not a chance, man. Not a chance. There's no way I was going to catch those 2 guys. Slowly closing the gap on them a little bit, as we were going down, but I was going to run out of time. And they got together and, significantly slowed them down a little bit, and was able to catch up to them and make some moves. It was intense, I tell you.
Well, Justin, you said intense. That's a very good word to describe a lot of the racing that I've seen here tonight. Very close quarters racing all throughout the night, is from stage 1 all the way to the final few laps. How tough was it to keep the momentum and not step out of that racing line and get a little bit out of the draft and open the door just enough for the drivers that were pretty much hounding you?
Well, the beginning part of the race is the truck was really, it was good for about the first 20 laps, and then it get really, really loose. And I was really having to back out in the corners to keep rear end from sliding around, but made some adjustments, on the rear end of it. There's a couple of pit stops, and it just, as the race went on, it just got better and better and better. And just once it started handling well, it was gravy, man. It hooked up and it was going.
Well, the crew chief doing a fine job with those small adjustments throughout the race, getting that 28 the speed in handling that you needed in order to pull off the pass at the end. However you get it done, whatever the situation, you got by and you were able to keep that race lead. So it takes a lot to get that done as well. So hats off with I believe this is your first visit to Victory Lane this season. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, but congratulations on the first race win. And you're actually the biggest mover in tonight's race as well, up 13 spots from where you started. So all around, a great night for you and that 28 crew. Heck of a job. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we finally got one. It is the first win for us in the series, and missed a few races here at the beginning of the season, so we've been fighting and clawing, just trying to get up in the standings, try to make it into the playoffs, and kind of right outside that bubble. Needed a really good finish tonight. Love Chicagoland. It's really one of the tracks I figured I had the best shot at getting the win, and I was able to pull it off. Now we clinched us a spot, so it's awesome.
Yes, indeed. Clinched one for you in that 28 crew. So once again, congratulations on a great run here tonight, walking away with the race win. And before we let you go and enjoy the celebrations here and the rest of the winnings here tonight, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody else on the side of that 28 truck?
Yeah, for sure. Just want to thank everybody in the league. They run a great league here. Everybody on the team at RTR Motorsports, Zach, Brian, Alex is in there. Just can't thank those guys enough. Great teammates. So just all around.
All right, Justin. Well, we do appreciate the time in the post-race interviews, and we will look forward to catching up with you further on down the line here in the rest of the season.
Thank you, brother.
All right, there you go. Final few words from the driver inside of that 28 machine. The Sega Keith Motorsports driver, Justin Hendry, getting the job done, walking away with a race win. First-time winner this season. Hendry gets the job done. That is probably going to shake up the point standings just a little bit. Not very much, though, as Alexander Encarnacio, man, what a run back towards the front of the field he had after being pretty much written off at one point in time tonight. Able to make his way back up through the field and walk away with a solid finish here tonight. Now, looks like the producers hitting those buttons, so you know what that means. Music in the background. It's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results for the Hate to See It 125 here from Chicagoland Speedway, race number 15 out of the 25 scheduled in the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series season number 1. Walking away with the race win, top spot goes to the 28 of Justin Hendry. Slide Jobs Racing's very own one of Michael Sheffield walks away in second, while Chad Biesinger finishes tonight's race in third. Brian Fine walks away from the track in the fourth spot. Alexander Encarnacio, what a recovery, finishes in fifth. Sixth spot goes to Jeff Carson, while Craig Burns brings his 2 machine home in the seventh spot. Trevor Massetti walking away in eighth, while Chris Wilson finishes in ninth. The 10 of Chris Claude gonna round out your top 10 here tonight, and Ryan Azell gonna pilot his 5 machine home in the 11th spot. Jerry Culver brings the 13 machine home in 12th, while Jerry Hutchinson in the 12 machine comes home 13th. Brandon Regal in the 36 machine, after leading a vast majority in the first stage, falls through the running order, finishes tonight's race back in the 14th position. Stephen Baldwin Jr. in the 59 going to walk away from the track. Last driver scored on the lead lap in the 15th position. In unfortunate circumstances for Steve Crapel, he loses some connection and off of the track he goes. The 16 going to round out the field here tonight. Big time shout out as well to David Hall as well as Jordan Westfall up there in the race control, keeping all these drivers straight at the end of these stages, getting the running orders back correct and everybody back in line. As I already alluded to, race fans, some great racing action coming up here in the next few weeks for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. We head off to the Milwaukee Mile next Saturday night. Then we head to the Tricky Triangle of Pocono Raceway for the final race here in February. So things heating up as the season winds down here for the Wallbangers Racing Truck Series. If you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side, getting notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, Darkside, Dave in the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether you're just casually sliding through or you're the dedicated fan, friend, or family, we do appreciate each and every one of you each and every time you stop by. So throw these drivers a thumbs up. Man, what a night of racing we had here tonight. As always, my friends, another day down in the books. New day, new year. Stay safe, stay loved. Until next time, my friends, we'll see you in Turn 3.